What is happening, my friends out there? Welcome to Gamers with Games. Now, shortly after we just had this Pokemon Direct, that was not too long ago, we're getting another Nintendo Direct that's going to focus on games for the summer of 2016. This includes both the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS titles, and it's going to be beyond just focusing on Pokemon titles, since we got a lot of that info in the last Direct. But with this one, this is going to cover games that are supposedly coming out later in the year, and hopefully on stuff that we haven't really gotten a lot of info about over the last couple of months since 2016 had started. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting. Now, bear with me here, take this with a huge grain of salt, as it always is with rumors and speculation and leaks that pop all over the place. But there's some info that's been appearing on a Dutch gaming website over in Nintendo of Europe, or at least that domain and such, that's actually detailing what we might actually see for tomorrow's Direct, at least at the time of this recording. The Direct is going on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I'm going to have all these links in the description box below so you guys can see it for yourself. But let's talk about some of the leaks on here. I have it actually listed on here, not only through the actual link on the website, but also through Google Translate, because it's written in Dutch, and obviously I'm here in the United States, I don't know Dutch, so I have to use this to help me out here. But here's some of the things that what we have, okay? Some of the games of which they're actually talking about, not only we're going to get some discussion of Fire Emblem Fates with just the release of Fire Emblem Fates not too long ago, but hopefully some interesting details about Fire Emblem Revelations, or Fire Emblem Fates Revelations, as well as any other DLC content for that game. We're also going to get some more stuff on Lost Reavers, which is Project Treasure, which has been around for a while. They've talked about it for a while, and I've seen a little bit of that stuff from E3 last year. Mario and Sonic at the at the Rio Olympic Games for the Rio 2016. Again, another Mario and Sonic game that takes place in the Olympics, which is pretty interesting. Again, I'm not really a fan of that series, but I know some people out there might like it. Also, Metroid Prime Federation Force. We're going to get some more details about this outside of what we got initially at E3. When I was at E3 back in June, I got a chance to check out the game. I didn't play it for an extensive period of time, only got to lightly see what it was all about. A lot of people are pretty pissed off about that. Hopefully Nintendo reveals some information that might get more people a little more excited for actually playing this game on Nintendo 3DS. A lot of people are really upset that it wasn't a real Metroid Prime game. Hopefully there's some sort of pull to that game that gets everybody on board. Also, Monster Hunter Generations. Now, this one is interesting, okay, because there's Monster Hunter X out in Japan. Or yeah, it's out in Japan and I believe also in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. But basically it's called Monster Hunter X, which is another 3DS title that's kind of like pseudo like an MMO. I think it's on 3DS, if I'm not mistaken, because they have it here where they actually talk about it. Generations. Actually, no, correction, it's a Wii U title, I'm sorry. Monster Hunter X is a Wii U title where it actually, again, it's more kind of like along the lines of an MMO. Very similar to some previous games of what I've heard about over that have been released in like, you know, Korea or any sort of like other Asia and Japan areas, where it's Monster Hunter, but on a much more bigger scale. You have more players kind of like hunting bigger beasts, working together beyond just the 4-player co-op. That should be interesting, and again, no matter what platform it comes out on, whether it's Wii U or 3DS, should be interesting getting a brand new Monster Hunter title, especially if you guys really enjoyed Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Now, besides that, we also got a couple other stuff in here. More details about Star Fox Zero. Now, this is where I'm actually worried. There's been some rumors for a time that Star Fox Zero is going to be getting delayed from its initial April 22nd release. That sucks. If it does happen tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, but also have a little bit of hope there, because this might actually give Nintendo the opportunity to move the actual control scheme away from just using the gyroscope on the Wii U gamepad. Hopefully we'll be able to actually just use the analog sticks to be able to control the game, that you control the R-Wings and stuff, as well as also maybe the Pro Controller outside of just using the Wii U gamepad. One of the complaints that both myself and HMK had when we went to E3 back in, was it June last year, we actually loved the game, we thought it was pretty cool, but again, using the gyroscope for the targeting and actually moving around and such with the actual Wii U gamepad with the gyroscope there, I thought was a little bit annoying. I really wish, and I kept saying to myself, I really wish I could just use the analog sticks just to control my targeting, or just to control the actual R-Wing, or just not even have to worry about just moving the reticule itself alone. I'd rather just do that than anything else involving the gyroscope. Maybe that's something that they're probably trying to implement it in, because that's been kind of like the word of mouth amongst all the people that got the chance to play it. Hopefully there's also some other new interesting details about the game, if not also Amiibo support. If you guys remember a while back, I talked about that Star Fox Zero is getting Amiibo support. I'm hoping that we get an actual Star Fox Amiibo, maybe a walker, maybe an R-Wing, maybe a tank. that'd be freaking cool. I would totally be down for that. So no complaints here, especially if they take the same route of what they did with Twilight Princess HD. Offers brand new content, new types of stuff to kind of use with the actual amiibos, as well as some of the actual Star Fox amiibos that I have here. I'll be able to use them. But regardless though, we also got some stuff that they're going to be talking about with Yokai Watch. Now, Yokai Watch, again, came out. I reviewed it on the Koalition.com. I think I gave it around the 70s range. Again, it has a lot of neat ideas with it, you know, a lot of interesting concepts, and it's clearly has taken Japan by storm. However, it's nowhere near, at least on the level of kind of quality, level of addictiveness as what you get from something like Pokemon. It does a lot of things better than Pokemon in some retrospects, including the maps, as far as the detailed information in which you get, the presentation on some certain things. But then there's that kind of like pull factor that Pokemon has, a lot more kind of like, you know, mastered over the years than what it actually has for Yokai Watch. But again, we're different here in the United States than in Japan. It could be a difference in the audiences or whatnot. Who knows? Maybe we might get some new DLC, maybe a sequel to Yokai Watch. Who knows at this point? A couple other little interesting details of which they talked about. And again, I'm reading this from the actual translation from Google Translate, from the Dutch actual editorial posting about it. Again, link is in the description box below for you guys to see it for yourself and actually get the actual rundown. Okay, moreover, Nintendo looks for these games to have some surprise in store, as Star Fox Zero gets a so-called first print edition, but the contents of the edition is not clear. That's interesting. Never heard of anything like that before with Nintendo games. They've always had this kind of like, you know, what is it, classic series or like greatest hits type of series, but they usually call it Nintendo Selects for mostly the Wii U games as well as also the 3DS games. Could be something falling in line with that. I don't know if it's necessarily a first print edition or it could be a day one edition. Maybe gets you some extra content or whatnot. Who knows? Additionally, you could get Super Nintendo games to the new Nintendo 3DS. These can be in the form of virtual console titles, but it could always be done in a different way. New titles to the virtual console, that's always cool. Obviously, some people have been talking about like Super Mario World and a couple other games here and there. A lot of people have been pulling for more games on the Wii or the GameCube titles or N64 titles. That would always be a welcome addition, but we don't know at this point. Monster Hunter X seems to go through life as Monster Hunter Generations and gets a partnership with Fire Emblem earlier. It was found out there's already a cooperation with the Legend of Zelda series. I don't know what that is necessarily. They could probably be referring to the DLC that Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate got, where they got all these different themes from different Nintendo games, including The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, and even some Capcom properties like Mega Man and such, where they have these different outfits you could use from creating, the different armors from the different monster materials that you get from hunting different beasts. That's fine, and that sounds dandy or whatnot. Nothing too much to get excited about unless you're a die-hard Monster Hunter fan. There's also a trailer past several Nintendo eShop games and also get a Fire Emblem Fates bundle. Okay, that sounds cool. But one of the big things I'm really kind of curious about, which this really doesn't get into, and again, I'm kind of going down a little bit further throughout the actual editorial here. No talk about Zelda Wii U. A lot of people I'm seeing now, ever since the Nintendo Direct was actually announced earlier today, or late last night I should say, when it went up on Twitter, a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's time, like now we're gonna get that Zelda Wii U actual coverage, or that Zelda Wii U news that we've been waiting on that name and stuff. I don't think we're gonna get anything of that again. It would be ideal for something like that to happen, especially as we're going into time for GDC this month, as well as also in 2 months, E3. Hopefully, Nintendo has some surprises. Hopefully, a lot of this stuff is kind of fake and then we get actually different types of surprises and information that will be much more in line to what we want to actually see happen. If not something that's totally going to wow us and get us really excited for the summer for Nintendo Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. But who knows at this point. Anyway, that's just the news, guys, at least what I found and some of the stuff that's being passed around. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this news, this leak, quote unquote. Again, take it all with some grains of salt. It could be total bullshit for all we know, but it's always good to discuss this, especially now that the Nintendo Direct is happening tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe it's also, 3 p.m. Pacific or 2 p.m. Pacific, something like that along those lines. But again, I'll be checking it out. I'll probably give some reactions afterwards. I'm probably gonna be hanging out on some of the live streams. I know a couple of my buddies are actually gonna be live streaming their reactions. I'll be lingering around there, be able to talk with all of you guys about this stuff. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, leave a comment. Also, subscribe to the Gamers with Gains channel for all my videos related to gaming, motivation, stronger living, all that jazz. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm actually streaming every single weekday on Twitch TV, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing a variety of different games. I actually started The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD last night, going through my Zelda Reawakening. Also played a little bit of some Mortal Kombat X. I actually did some impressions on the Koalition.com about the brand new content for the Combat Pack 2 for Mortal Mortal Kombat XL. That includes the Alien, Leatherface, Boraicho, and Triborg. Talked about a whole bunch of stuff, played it live on stream for everybody. It was pretty fun. So, hope to see you there. Peace out, stay epic, everybody.